When a story captures the world the way Downton Abbey has, the word ending never really feels final. You can close the curtain, roll the credits, even call it a grand farewell, but deep down, fans know better. Because stories like Downton Abbey don't just fade away. They linger, whispering one question that refuses to die: what happens next? The creators may have promised that the last film was the end, but if history has taught us anything, it's that no franchise this beloved ever stays quiet for long. There's already talk of a prequel, a reboot, and yes, rumors of a possible season 7. And when you really look at how the finale played out, it's almost like the writers left a few elegant doors wide open on purpose. The film, released on September 12th, carried the weight of finality. Elizabeth McGovern, who's been the soul of the series as Cora Crawley, the Countess of Grantham, even said this was the end of the road for her. But then she added something intriguing. If the story ever continued, it would have to go backward, exploring younger versions of the characters we've loved for over a decade. That single hint set imaginations racing. Picture a young Violet Crawley, the future Dowager Countess, her sharp wit being forged in a different era. Wouldn't that be a story worth seeing? Still, longtime Downton fans know how this game goes. Endings don't always mean the end. When a series has been both critically adored and a financial powerhouse, the temptation to return is never far away. After all, this is Downton Abbey, a world too rich, too layered, too human to simply stop existing, and the finale itself didn't make it any easier to say goodbye. From the opening scenes, it pulled hard on the audience's heartstrings. You could feel that this wasn't just a fictional family saying farewell. It was a reunion of real actors, revisiting memories that defined their lives. Michelle Dockery, who plays Lady Mary, even called it a beautiful tribute to Maggie Smith. Watching those moments, you weren't just closing a story. You were saying goodbye to 15 years of shared history, laughter, loss, and legacy. But here's the thing about endings. The best ones always leave traces of what could come next. Beneath all the closure, Downton Abbey's finale was quietly laying breadcrumbs for the future. Take Lady Mary's story, for example. She ends the film fully in charge of Downton after her father steps aside. She's divorced, independent, and daring to defy the judgmental whispers of high society. That alone feels like a setup for something bigger. A fresh era of leadership, one led by a woman challenging the old order. It's the kind of arc that doesn't end with a curtain call. It begins with one. Then there's that haunting, dreamlike ending. Mary stands alone in the Great Hall, only for the ghosts of Matthew, Sybil, and Violet to appear. Figures from her past reminding us that memory never really dies. It's poetic and symbolic, but it's also deliberate. When the past walks beside the present, it hints at a story that still has more to tell. Fans couldn't help but wonder, if the past still echoes, what might the future hold? And maybe that's the true genius of the finale. On the surface, it closes the book, but in reality, it turns the page. Mary's children are growing up. Edith and her husband Herbert are still navigating their own paths. Daisy, once just a maid, now stands tall as head cook, proving that the next generation is ready to lead. That's not an ending. It's an evolution. Even the smaller storylines whisper of new beginnings. Remember Isabel and Daisy organizing the town fair? It seemed simple at first, but underneath it was a message. The younger class is stepping forward, shaping a new world where the lines between upstairs and downstairs are beginning to blur. That quiet revolution feels like a preview of what a future season could explore, a modern Downton Abbey built by new hands, yet carrying the same heart. And let's talk about drama, because Downton Abbey has never been short of that. Mary's scandalous divorce left her reputation hanging by a thread. Her Uncle Harold's money troubles threatened to drag the family down again. And then there was Gus, the charming con man who swept in with charm and lies. Mary may have outwitted him, but his betrayal left cracks in the Crawley family's foundation. Cracks that could easily grow into new storylines filled with conflict, redemption, and intrigue. So what if Season 7 didn't just continue the story, but reimagined it? Imagine George Crawley, now a young man, stepping into his father Matthew's shadow, trying to balance duty and identity. Or Caroline, Mary's daughter, learning to navigate the suffocating expectations of high society while carrying her mother's defiant spirit. Even Anna's unborn child, with Mary as godmother, could symbolize a literal new generation of Downton Abbey. It's all there, ready to be explored. And here's where things get really interesting. Producer Gareth Neame once admitted he might change his mind about ending the story. And who could blame him? 6 television seasons, holiday specials, and 3 feature films later, Downton Abbey remains a global phenomenon. When a world this rich still feels alive, why not revisit it? There's also that irresistible idea of a prequel. McGovern's comments about exploring Violet's younger years open up a world of possibilities. How did she become the sharp, unshakable dowager countess we know? What heartbreaks and triumphs shaped her? A prequel could answer those questions while deepening the very soul of Downton's history. But maybe, just maybe, the future lies in both directions, past and present. Imagine a prequel revealing the Crawley legacy's roots, while a new season carries that legacy forward. It would be like seeing the estate through 2 lenses, where it began and where it's heading, and that's why calling the last movie a finale feels a bit premature. It gave us closure, yes, but not an ending. It reminded us of where we've been while showing who's ready to lead next. Lady Mary, once bound by tradition, now stands as the face of change. The Crawley family, once rigidly divided by class, is evolving. And the themes that made Downton Abbey timeless, love, loss, ambition, and belonging, still have so much more to explore. Because maybe that's the secret of Downton Abbey. Families don't end, they evolve. Their stories don't stop, they grow. And their legacies aren't erased, they're passed down. So whether it's a prequel, a reboot, or a brand new season, one thing's certain: Downton Abbey still has chapters left to write. And for fans who've followed this world for 15 unforgettable years, that's not just comforting, it's exciting. Because when a story means this much to so many, it never truly says goodbye. It simply waits for the next curtain to rise.